Hello, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Wendy.
Welcome to Brown Space. This is a safe space where we talk about the hard topic of racism.
And build empathy through the healing power of conversation.
Thank you for joining us. Well, I thought we would start off by introducing ourselves, like really talk about you and what you do. We're all, spoiler alert, we're all artists in some way, shape, or form. But I know that Christopher and Edgar have never met. So the floor is yours. You decide who wants to talk about the, their journey.
I'll leave the space open for Christopher to start. I'm okay with that.
Before you do, can I interrupt you and just say thank you both so much for joining us in this conversation today? Because Sharon and I have been talking about this for like 2 years, and we finally got all of this together. So thank you both for your time.
Wonderful.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. Let me speak for myself.
You can speak for the family. You can speak for the congregation, Edgar.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. All right, y'all. Well, Christopher Scott Caldwell, yes, artist. I wear all the hats, but it comes down to dance for me. Right now, currently, life has me working as a professor, an adjunct professor at Florida Atlantic University. I teach jazz dance. And I work in the mornings, 4 days a week at country clubs, teaching seniors and
That's
cool. Fitness. And I have private clientele of 10 years plus that I meet them in their west wing of their house at 2 and they come 20 minutes late with mango. And they dance for an hour and they don't want to be touched because they're showgirls. And I'm very recently, last week, I finally got an agent. Up until now, my gig work has been word of mouth, but figured it was time to make that switch. So So that is my work and what I do. And I'm blessed inside all of that to be able to play as an actor, vocal technician, educator, and most of all, dancer. So that's what I do, and what's current in my world. Mm-hmm.
awesome.
And how Christopher and I came to know each other is through dance. He was one of my young students that participated with our school for quite a few years. So he's a veteran of Colors International School of the Arts.
Yes, honey. Actually, more so than that, because really I left that off the list, didn't I? My nonprofit is a direct descendant of this school. Really, it is the child of Colors.
That is awesome.
And so that organization I founded in 2017. 2017 is when we founded Ovations Global Network. And we're a network of artists, activists, and investors who execute performing arts programs. Our biggest program is What the Punk Fest, Florida's first and only international gay urban dance festival. And our second biggest project is South Florida Drum and Dance Festival as well. So we have done Mali and Senegal and Cuba and different places. And we just bring folks in from these regions. They teach traditional song and dance in the school system here, and we host those seminars. So that all absolutely is a direct descendant of my experience at Color School of the Arts. Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah, you were just going to skip that part?
I know, right?
Edgar has a sense of humor. I really like that. That is so important.
It's the only way I survive with anything.
I hear you, friend.
The only way. I'm hoping those laughing checks will pay soon when if I'm fortunate to get, grow into my older years.
Yeah.
Those laughing checks, I can cash them then. So I guess it's my turn. I'm a musician. I've been playing piano at this point now for 27 years. And I found my voice because I'm a singer as well. I'm classically trained. And it wasn't until college where I went to FAU. I did my undergrad. I started in piano, and then I joined a chorus there. And then I found out by the encouragement of the teachers that I had a voice that was viable of
Yeah.
working towards it. The whole entire time, prior to even wanting to study music, I wanted to be a teacher. Specifically, I wanted to teach math, and I wanted to teach Egyptian history.
Wow.
Something about the hieroglyphics and that culture just really impressed me. I think it was the artwork. I think it was all the pharaohs and everything that you learned about and the pyramids. And I
Yeah.
really loved it. And I remember being so my teacher for that class was Mrs. Healy Fucci. I can still remember her name. I was like, I want to teach this class. This is so fun to do this every year. And math, because math I was very good at it and I didn't have to work at it. And then I found music, or music found me, my father technically, because he played music every Sunday. When you're young, it's annoying, and then you realize, no, you were getting all this amazing music was being inculcated into your veins, and you had no idea. So I studied piano, and then I realized that I wanted to sing and work that. So I did that, and I taught the entire time, well before I probably should have been teaching. And I performed extensively, but not enough to leave my teaching. My teaching holds me down, and there's something for that. Right now, I am teaching at the University of Miami. This is my 4th year. I teach musical theater. I'm a voice teacher there. Right now, I have over 18. I think I'm going to have like 20 something private students this semester alone. And I'm going to jump in and help New World School of the Arts. And when Wendy needs my help, I do some virtual lessons for Principia as well. And nothing makes me happier. I tell this to Wendy all the time. I just am so obsessed with figuring out vocal technique and finding ways for my students to get those, like Oprah says, aha moments. And nothing moves me more. It's just a wild thing that if I could take that passion and trickle a little bit into other areas, then I would really be superhuman. But I can't have it all. But I have enough. I'm very happy with that. So I'm a musician, I'm a singer, and most importantly, I try to, as I'm learning, and I try to instill confidence in our ever insecure society through music. How about that?
Nice.
That's what I'm using music for. I remember at the beginning of my teaching, I was very rough because my teachers are rough. And then I realized this is not what got me into music in the first place. I don't want to be part of that agenda. I want standards, but I want to instill passion to figure out and to say, you know what, I want to do this. And not because I want them to impress me. I do not believe that. Just confidence. I just have seen so many youth and people younger than me just not have confidence. And I don't know where that happened. So that's what I'm doing. Every day I try. I'm not always successful, but I try to figure it out, and I show up every time.
So that is exactly what Sharon and I created Brown Space for, to try. And like for me, especially as a very privileged white lady, growing up where I did and as I did, I was in Richmond, Virginia, and then eventually I was in Fort Worth, Texas, and it was just very white. And even where there was integration, it wasn't really integrated. So for me, like stumbling over the conversations of skin color, what is race or racism? Why do we use those words? All of the, intersectionality is another one, and, privilege and how that makes so many people rancor. Just having these conversations and trying to show up every day, even though it's kind of hard in our society to show up every day when you are white. Like, I have to make a major effort, because I can just go through my little white bubble and really not encounter or notice, because I'm very surrounded by whiteness. So that's something that I'm becoming more conscious of and want to chip away at. So I love the way I was like, we're going to dive right in, because the way you verbalized your efforts professionally, Edgar, really was like, yeah. as I've been teaching voice lessons also for a long time, that what you described about the confidence, etc., has been a theme for me. But I'm becoming more passionate to use that in activism now, and in an activism that is based in empathy, because I feel like such, a kindergartner in it.
It's so important that we all teach here. Do you realize that we're all teachers?
Yeah.
And that's huge because that means that not only are we just doing a thing to do a thing, just listening to each of you, listening to you, Edgar, and knowing you, Christopher, knowing you, Wendy, you see the importance of what it is the work calls for, right? It's not just, okay, let me give this information, but how can I instill the passion and the authenticity of the arts and just humanity, period, right? I don't think that we can stand here or sit here in this case and say we're teachers unless we, grab hold of that passion to really have empathy for others, for people who are in front of us, regardless of their race, their gender identity, their, sexuality, or any of that. If you can't dig deep and come forth with that transparency, then we're raising another generation of, I don't want to use the word, but you know what I mean. So I am honored to just be here with all of you.
You've been watching Brown Space with Sharon and Wendy.
It's been so great talking and sharing here today. We look forward to your comments below, or you can email us at brownspace2020@gmail.com.
Remember, you are the light that gives light to the world.